Welcome to a special report from the Human Error News Network. Look, if you're a corporate executive, you probably sleep pretty soundly at night, right? You're thinking your expensive, highly educated legal team is providing this ironclad shield of manual review to protect your company. Well, what if I told you that very system is actually a minefield? Today, we're going to absolutely shatter the illusion that your traditional contracting process is keeping you safe, and we'll explore exactly what we can do to detect, prevent, and correct catastrophic human error. 60%. Now, this isn't just some minor, oops, I made a typo administrative error rate. We're looking at a massive data analysis by Spellbook. They looked at over 3,000 agreements from 500 public companies and found that 60% of highly scrutinized public SEC filings contain human errors. And get this, 40% of those are actually classified as high-risk errors, like mistakes that literally change the meaning of a clause. This is human error directly bleeding your bottom line.
Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, that doesn't happen to the big players. We throw millions at top-tier law firms. But hold on. Even the massive, highly visible SpaceX IPO filing had 11 issues hidden right inside it. Just like the Spellbook report points out, money literally cannot buy perfection when it comes to human review at scale. So, right now, you are relying on a deeply flawed human system that's operating under intense deal pressure.
Section 1. The Human Error Epidemic. We really have to stop viewing our current manual system as a reliable safeguard.
The sheer absurdity of our current inefficiency is frankly alarming. Research shows that creating an average basic contract manually costs you nearly $7,000, and complex ones? Those average around $50,000 a pop. Now compare that massive cost to a system leveraging automation, where a standard contract can be drafted in just 3.5 minutes. I mean, we are paying premium, top-dollar prices for a human review process that fails to catch errors 60% of the time. It's wild.
Section 2. Contracts as structured data. It's time for a massive paradigm shift in how we handle our agreements.
We really need to stop treating contracts as just mere word processing files. Think about it. A contract is arguably the most important data source in your entire company. It literally governs every single relationship you have with vendors, employees, customers, the whole shebang. So we absolutely must start analyzing them as objective, extractable data rather than just subjective text locked away in some dusty PDF.
Let's put this into perspective. Imagine your marketing department wants to know if they can slap a new vendor's logo on your website. In the old manual system, that creates a huge legal bottleneck. You're waiting days for a lawyer to sift through a 200-page document just to find one tiny paragraph. But when contracts are treated as structured data, marketing can instantly access that specific publicity clause themselves without ever bothering legal. Boom, you eliminate the bottleneck entirely.
But wait, news alert. Section 3, the AI drafting dilemma. Before we just hand the keys over to the machines, we have to pause and look at the risks.
In my research into these source materials, I found a pretty hard truth. Yes, AI assistants actually did outperform human lawyers when it comes to preparing reliable first drafts. But data from legalbenchmarks.ai reveals that even the most advanced AI tools out there make errors or totally hallucinate in more than 25% of drafts. That means more than 1 out of every 4 AI-generated drafts has a mistake in it. So neither humans nor machines are completely error-free here. So that brings us to this absolutely crucial high-stakes question. How do we trust the machine? I mean, if humans are failing 60% of the time, and AI is failing 25% of the time, how on earth do we bridge this trust gap to actually protect our organizations? Well, let's step into our investigative blueprint for a solution.
Section 4. 4 Rules for Safe AI. These are the exact guardrails we need to build right now.
We're all in this together, and we need specific tested tactics from our case studies to safely deploy AI without stepping on a legal landmine. So here are the 4 grounded techniques you need to verify AI outputs. Rule 1. Identify hidden assumptions to reduce ambiguities. Rule 2. Force transparency. Rule 3. Validate with second opinions. And Rule 4. Request proactive risk analysis. Let's actually break a couple of these down so you can apply them literally today. Okay, so Rule 2 is about forcing transparency to stop this super dangerous phenomenon called quiet drift. Here's how it happens. An AI instructed to draft a pro-licensee clause might quietly insert pro-licenser terms. And the scary part? It sounds perfectly fluent and authoritative, but it's actually shifting the commercial leverage right against you. So you have to explicitly force the AI to explain its choices and note exactly what counterparty terms were left out just to prevent this really subtle, costly drift. Moving on to Rule 3, which requires validating with second opinions. Relying on just a single AI tool carries a massive risk of unchecked errors. But if you run the exact same drafting task through multiple AI tools built on totally different foundational models, think like Gemini versus GPT, you create this incredibly vital safety net. Wherever the models diverge and disagree with each other, well, you have a glowing neon signal that human legal judgment is required right there.
And finally, Rule 4 demands proactive risk analysis. You absolutely have to explicitly instruct the AI to act as a risk analyst, not just a drafter. It needs to proactively flag material risks, stuff like unenforceability, liability exposures, or major compliance issues. For example, if it flags clauses in an IT contract that failed to meet Europe's new Digital Operational Resilience Act, or DORA, well, that gives your human reviewers a massive, powerful running start.
Bringing us to our final segment, Section 5, Legal as Strategic Advisors. This is where we change the game entirely. By correcting the human error epidemic and deploying AI safely using those 4 rules we just talked about, you are about to completely change what your legal department actually does day to day. You're upgrading your legal counsel from reactive, manual proofreaders, which, let's face it, is a massive cost center, into preventive, revenue-protecting strategic advisors. Instead of wasting time searching for some random publicity clause or fixing a junior associate's typo, they can now leverage 100,000 past contracts as data points. They can see exactly where market leverage sits for your next big negotiation.
Which leaves us with one final, deeply unsettling thought for this Human Error News Network special report. Think about it. If your legal team is currently manually reviewing boilerplate that fails 60% of the time, how much is that illusion of safety costing your bottom line today?